So I don't know how many people are going to show up, but I know I definitely posted it. And does somebody want to post really quick in Team Aloha and say that we're on the call right now? Just sometimes everybody needs a little reminder once in a while. I'll post it.
I see somebody by the name of Nick happens to be wearing a Detroit Red Wings hat. I just wanted to say, hell yeah. Yeah.
I'm sorry I got on late. Where are you from, Kelly?
I'm originally from Ohio, so Toledo area. So I've been to a lot.
Okay, Toledo's like Detroit. That's not really Ohio.
Yeah, no, not at all. It's like, yeah. So have you been to a lot of games?
Well, I live in Tampa now, actually.
Oh.
I'm originally from Detroit. I've been down here for a few years, and we actually catch as many of the Red Wings games as we can here when they're in town. And it's kind of weird because down here there must be a whole lot of expatriates because half of the arena will be red. So much to the point that when they played in the first round of the playoffs, they actually had to restrict all 200 level tickets and below. You had to have a Florida address on your credit card, or else it wouldn't be like a home ice advantage. They wouldn't sell any good tickets to anybody from out of town.
That's hilarious. That's awesome. A lot of Red Wings fans down there, huh?
Yes, and actually, there's a few Michigan fans down here, and a few Michigan fans in Miami or Boca Raton, I guess. I heard.
Well, I'm in Delray, so.
All right, I'm gonna mute everybody. Okay, muting everybody's line. So if you end up wanting to ask questions at the end, if we have time, then definitely just go ahead and unmute yourself. We have the honor of having Kelly Hanner, who is I don't even know what star diamond now, 6, 5?
Yep.
6?
6.
6-star diamond in your first and 2 in your second?
1 in my second.
And a 1-star diamond in her second. She's the founder and leader of Team Tubby to Toned. And we connected actually at a summit event, actually the first year that I was a coach, I think. And no, not a summit event. We were at a Danny Johnson event, and we were at the Beachbody headquarters. But we met, but we never really hadn't much interaction. And then at this last summit last June, we met again, and we decided to become success partners. And Kelly kind of introduced me to Instagram because at the time I was on Instagram and I was getting so frustrated and so annoyed because I didn't know what I was doing. I was wasting so much time. I had no clue. And so we kind of decided to partner up, and she taught me so much about how to use Instagram. And now she's actually duplicating that really well in her downline. And while I think I've been pretty successful at using it myself, it's helped me grow a lot of my business. I think I had 2,000 or 3,000 followers when we met, and I have 13,000 now. Kelly has 40,000 followers on her Instagram, and it's pretty much where she gets all of her people, all of her coaches, all of her clients. And now she's duplicating that in her team really well, and they're getting results with it. So I asked her to come on the call and share with you guys so you can get it directly from the horse's mouth, what she's doing. And so take it away. She's also an elite 2014 coach, and she has tons of accolades, but she's very successful in the business.
Thank you. So I need to share my screen. So, 1 second. Sorry, technology sometimes is not my friend. Okay. And so when I share the screen, I'm going to expand the presentation to full screen setting. So if you guys don't see it, because sometimes, like I said, I'm very technologically not advanced. So if it looks really screwed up, just let me know. So I'll just remove it from the full screen setting. But all right, now that I'm done with that, let's open this up. All right. So what I'm discussing tonight is how to build your brand through Instagram. Sorry, when I originally wrote this up, I was a 5-star diamond at the time, and I only had 36,000 people following me. But now I am up to about 41,000. So last February of 2014, I started really pouring all of my fuel, all of my focus into building up my Instagram account. I went from 5,000-ish followers up to 40,000 plus followers, all from like February till December. And now I'm kind of at this point where I'm just steadily letting it grow by itself. But I'm going to be sharing and passing down the information that has allowed me to build my business primarily through Instagram. And I'll also be passing on how you can duplicate it within your business. So my coaching story, real quick, a little background so you can understand how I build my tribe through my story is you know, when I was a little kid, I battled with yo-yo dieting. My mom was a yo-yo dieter, so it was kind of just passed on down to me. It was something I learned from her. I dealt with fad diets, eating disorders. I had zero confidence, no direction, no leadership skills. And so I eventually, you know, I had a passion for health and fitness because I battled it most of my life. So I became a coach in 2010. So I've been a coach for 5 years. And my first year and a half, I didn't do anything at all with coaching. I absolutely sucked at it. I came off like a salesperson a few times when I first got started, and I got nowhere with that. And because I got nowhere with that, I just thought, I'm going to put this on the back burner and not do anything with it. And I just stuck around for the discount. Made nothing my first year and a half at all. But then I saw other coaches who were having success. And I thought, you know what? If they're having success, they're going on these free trips, doing all of these things, having the lifestyle that I truly wanted, and I'm seeing them pay off debt and doing all these just amazing things, I can do it. So I ended up reaching out to a few of them to figure out exactly what they were doing, which kind of helped led me to start slowly evolving. And it wasn't until I really started using Instagram the way that I did last February that my business just went from 0 to 60, really. So this is kind of where I started with on my Instagram account. My Instagram account pre-February was just kind of a hodgepodge of anything and everything. You know, I was posting photos of giveaways. I was trying to sell stuff. I promoted heavily Beachbody. You know, like if you see in that middle photo there, I have like T25 and doing like Turbo Fire giveaways that I'm doing myself. I also posted a lot, very frequently, of photos of my heart rate monitor and the calories I burned. And I wasn't really getting anywhere. I mean, I had 5,000 followers on Instagram because I was kind of like an early settler on Instagram. I started on Instagram before a lot of Beachbody coaches did, so I kind of slowly started building to where I had 5,000 followers. But I wasn't really providing much value. My Instagram account looked like it was all over the place. So now I'm here, though. I have over 40,000 people following me on Instagram. And if you could see from this, my Instagram now kind of has more rhyme and reason behind it. It looks more aesthetic and pleasing to the eye. I have this, you know, I share my story quite often. I like to inspire people. And basically when people come to my Instagram account, they know what they're going to get from me when they check it out. So now, you know, these are the things that kind of turn people away, which are kind of similar to everything I used to do in the past. If you look at the photo on the left, this girl, I mean, I give all of these people credit first and foremost because they're trying. But I just know that they could fine-tune this to make it more worth their while. So the girl on the left, you know, she is doing good, but she is posting her heart rate monitor all the time, and she's doing a lot of collages. So the thing is when you are messing around on your phone and you have the small little thumbnails, if somebody were to come and just preview your account on Instagram and they saw all of these tiny thumbnails with tiny, tiny photos within them, because these photos have been added to a collage where there's more than 3 photos collaged all together at once, your Instagram kind of starts to begin to look a little cluttered. And you're kind of taking the primary focus away from where you really want to place your focus. So first and foremost, don't post photos of your heart rate monitor, because what you really want to do is you want to give your followers a reason to follow you. You want to provide them with valuable content. And really posting your photo of how many calories you burn on your heart rate monitor doesn't promote or help add value to the people who are following you. They don't look at that and they're like, hell yeah, like, I want to get my workout in. Some people maybe, but there's a lot better ways to motivate and inspire. And also, please be sure to not over collage your photos. At the very most, I recommend collaging together 3 photos to have the most aesthetic and easy on the eye Instagram as possible. With the middle one, just first and foremost, this woman, her Instagram username is Beachbody Coach Ariels. Now for me, this is just my personal preference, but I do not like to broadcast that I'm a Beachbody coach on Instagram. And that's just something I choose to do, because Beachbody coaches on Instagram are a dime a dozen. I'd be lying to you if I told you any differently, but we're a dime a dozen on Instagram. And the truth of the matter is there's a lot of people on Instagram who have had not only Beachbody coaches, but like Herbalife coaches, rap people, all of those, messaging people on their photos, basically spamming them like, hey, you should join my next challenge, and it works, you should do one of our raps. And so we're a dime a dozen, and people are a little turned off by Beachbody coaches because of some of the spammy ways that Beachbody coaches like to try to get other people involved. So what I encourage you to do is not necessarily broadcast all over the place that you're a Beachbody coach, but more or less, maybe discuss how you're a health and fitness coach or you're a health and fitness entrepreneur, anything like that. And not necessarily always posting and saying, oh, the 21-day fix, and this is my Shakeology. The more discreet you are, I have found, the more engagement you can get out of people. And I'll show in future slides exactly how I go about doing that. But basically, this person in the middle is kind of just spewing Beachbody all over. And I definitely encourage not to do that. And then with this photo on the right, this girl, it's a good account, but, still, it could definitely be polished up. She could probably put herself more into her account by sharing her story. I only see her maybe 1 or 2 times. And I encourage you to be sure that you are making an appearance on your Instagram account at least 1 time per row. So you want your face, your mug, some way, shape, or form on your Instagram account at least once per row. So building your brand on Instagram. So you need to understand who your target market is. What is the tribe that you are looking to build around you? What would those people like to see on your Instagram account? So one of the things that I always roll with whenever I post on my Instagram or even, Facebook, a lot of this stuff is interchangeable. You can use this and apply it to either Instagram or Facebook. But I look to post things that I would think, okay, if I shared this right now on Instagram or Facebook, I'm going to have somebody within my target market or my tribe who is going to tag 4 of their friends because they related so much to this and they wanted to share this with other people. They found it valuable. They found it something that they wanted to share with other people as well. That's what you need to go along with. And see if you're posting photos of your heart rate monitor and the calories you burned. Are you? Ask yourself this right now. Would you, if you saw that on somebody's Instagram account or their Facebook, would you want to tag somebody and be like, wow, you got to check out how many calories this chick burned? No, you're probably not going to. You're not going to want to do that. because it's not valuable content to you. And the same thing goes as well. And a lot of the information I'm passing on to you is information that I learned through Shalene Johnson's Instagram Impact Academy. And something Shalene is very prominent on is, removing your family and your pets really from your Instagram account. If you're posting random photos of your dog, a complete stranger probably isn't following you so they can see a photo of your dog or see a photo of your kid. And for me, that was a hard pill to swallow when I first learned about that, because I have a dog that I absolutely love. And before February of 2014, my Instagram account was filled with her. But I wasn't really attracting too many people to my Instagram account. And that is a reason why people want to see stuff that interests them. If they're posting about your friends and your family, it's just not going to work out necessarily as you want it to. So the more valuable content you can share with people that is something that they would want to tag their friends and family or whoever in, that's what you want to roll with. And please post content for your target market that's relevant and true to who you are as a person. And also, just throwing this out there too, but with your Instagram account, if it is private, unprivatize it, because you are totally missing the boat. You're putting in all of this work and effort to try to make your Instagram account look nice and try to attract people to it. But if your Instagram account is private, nobody's seeing your stuff, and nobody's going to want to see your stuff if they have to request to be your Instagram friend. And like I've mentioned before, don't really beachbody vomit all over your audience. Try to make a name for yourself so that people recognize you for you before they really recognize that you are a Beachbody coach. So this is how to speak to your target market. You need to know thyself. What are common things about you? So in my past, I have eating disorders. I love to travel into fitness, adventure, meditation, spirituality. I like creating fitness videos. I'm into holistic health, and I'm originally from Toledo, Ohio. So this is one way that I teach my team to duplicate, how to build their Instagram account up. So once you know yourself, once you know what you're into, then it's important to hashtag your photos. So I put my hashtags not in the actual caption for the Instagram photo itself, but I put it in the comment thread below. And I'm posting relevant hashtags that are more concrete than rather just being abstract or something that is highly popular. So for instance, and I put here, if you look on the far right column, I have fit girls. That is overly popular, and I should probably remove this from this slide, but you do not want to use hashtags that are severely popular, because if you tag what you think is a really awesome post with fit girls, for instance, so many other people are tagging their photo with fit girls that if somebody were to look up the hashtag fit girls, your photo is going to get lost in the stream of all of the other photos that are tagged with fit girls. So something that might be more conducive for building your Instagram account is posting a photo with a hashtag that is more specific. So for instance, I went to the University of Toledo. Even though my photo might not be relevant to the University of Toledo, I'm still going to hashtag it with the University of Toledo, hoping that somebody is scrolling through and looking up University of Toledo hashtags, and my photo might kind of just strike them, and they might be interested in looking to see what more I have to offer. Like, why the hell did this girl post this photo if it's not the University of Toledo? So they'll come and they'll look at my account, and maybe the content I have to offer is something that is valuable to them, so they decide to follow me. Another thing I'll do is I will tag my photos with relevant places that are local to me. So say, for instance, there's a restaurant or a juicing bar called Juice Buzz that is local to me here in Delray. So if I'm with any of my posts, I will tag it Juice Buzz, because I know that people who are going to this Juice Buzz place are probably people who would really relate to me. They would be within my target market. You could also do local gyms. Even if you don't go to the local gym, tag your local gym, or maybe tag your local yoga studio, because they might be relevant places of people that are frequently attending. So you want to do that kind of stuff. You want to try to really branch out and envision the kind of person that you want to work with and what they might be tagging their videos with. So you also want to post valuable content that is true to you. So for instance, back in the day, before I really started getting deep into Beachbody and personal development, I used to watch the TV all the time. I'd walk into the house, walk into a room, and I'd turn the TV on. It was just second nature to me. Ever since I got into Beachbody and personal development and all that, it's something I don't do anymore. I barely ever watch the TV. So what I wanted to do with my Instagram is I wanted to inspire other people and really relate to people who might be looking for, just a little kick in the butt to give up their TV addiction. So I posted this photo, television be like with an eraser to a brain. I had over 636 likes and over 63 comments because I shared this photo, and then I shared my own personal, inspiration in the caption below. And what I happened to say in the caption is I did mention, I used to watch Sons of Anarchy. I loved Sons of Anarchy. But before the series finale, the episode for the season, or the series, for the season finale of the season, anyway, I am really losing track here. But one of the episodes was absolutely horrific. I mean, I'm talking about a woman getting her head beaten in by another woman. And I can't do that kind of stuff anymore. After the kind of spiritual development I've been doing and doing personal development, that really drained me energetically. And I posted about that. I wrote about that within this post. And I had a girl comment and say something to the means of, you should really put spoiler alert if you're going to talk about a show. She said that she just had recently started watching it and hadn't gotten to that episode yet. So I responded back maybe this is a sign that you should not watch it, And she said maybe this is a sign to unfollow you. And then what I had happen was I had somebody within my tribe who just happened to be named on Instagram, Hanny the Tranny, come out of the woodwork to defend me. Hanny the Tranny said, laugh my ass off, cry about it, to the girl who was getting all offensive in my post. So what happens here? This is a highlight of how being true to who you are, being unapologetic to who you are as a person, how you are going to attract like-minded people. Not only like-minded people that you would really click with, but like-minded people who are going to stick up for you as well. And you want to add value. Like I said, you want to be creating posts that people are going to want to tag other people in. So, for instance, I shared this photo of Coca-Cola with, cravings, cavities, obesity, diabetes, and allergy written all over it. I had 649 likes with over 30 comments. And so what I did in the caption section to this photo was I explained, back in the day, I used to be somebody who used to drink Coke and Diet Pop all of the time. And since I was raised to do that, it's kind of hard for me to still kick sweetness. Like when I drink, I need to have some kind of sweetness to whatever it is that I'm drinking. So I explained how back in the summer before 8th grade, I lost 15 pounds by just giving up pop. And I still have a hard time drinking plain water, so I flavor my distilled water with lemon juice and liquid stevia for a much healthier way to stay hydrated. Because I did that, because I shared what's worked for me, I had over 30 comments and 649 likes. I mean, that's kind of simple when you think about it. Another way that I try to, really create value is I like to share my spiritual side. So I shared this photo that says, for 1 minute, please stand here in silence and look at the sky and contemplate how awesome life is. And I just, I said, life is awesome. I hope we can agree on that. Tag your soul sister. So I gave a call to action in the caption for them to tag their soul sister. And that is something also I definitely recommend. As many times as you possibly can for each post that you create, I would do a call to action that is encouraging them to tag somebody else in your post. Because what you're going to have happen then is your Instagram is going to start to build organically, meaning that your followers are going to start tagging their friends and people to check it out. And then once those people do check it out, they're going to see what your Instagram is all about. They're probably going to look through, see all the other posts that you have to share, and then they're going to like you because their friend liked you, and, like attracts like, birds of a feather flock together. So those people are probably going to want to follow you as well. So that's new followers. So with that post, I had 781 likes and over 21 comments. And I also like to film fitness videos. And when I film fitness videos, I also like to get those featured. I'm sure Marissa probably has talked to you guys about doing features before in the past. Features are something that really helped me to build my Instagram account. Basically what you do is you contact another Instagram account who has more followers than you, and you ask them if they can feature you. You kick with them. Now, somebody I've done in the past is fitgirls_inspire, and I would not recommend going with them anymore because they're kind of oversaturated in promoting Beachbody coaches now. But I know something else that has worked for me in the past and that could work for you as well is finding other Instagram accounts of people who are into fitness or who have a lot of the same similarities as you. Like, let's say, for instance, you went skydiving and you have a photo of yourself skydiving. What you could do is you could contact another skydiving Instagram account and say, hey, if you feature my photo, I'll feature you. So you're doing kind of a trade-off with them. And that's one way to easily build up your following without really having to pay to get yourself featured. Because that's what I did, and I know a lot of people starting off aren't really looking to pay to get themselves featured. So if you just do like a little agreement between you and another account that has kind of a relatively close amount of people following it as you have, you can find that you're going to get new followers and they're going to be people who you're probably going to want to work with. Another thing too that I use is I also use Instagress.com. Now Instagress is a little tricky, and I have video on my YouTube account which explains how to use Instagress. But Instagress is a way that I've easily duplicated building your Instagram account to my downline. So basically it works as, you put in hashtags. So all of the hashtags that we talked about before, so like University of Toledo or skydiving or juice buzz, I would put those into Instagress. And then what Instagress is going to do is it's going to go ahead and like all of those people's photos who are tagging their photos with juice buzz or the University of Toledo. And so what then I do is when those people come to my account and like my stuff, because that's what's going to happen. If you had a random account going through your Instagram and liking like 5 of your photos or even a couple of your photos in your smaller account with not many people following you, you're going to be like, who the heck is this liking my stuff? So those people are going to come back to you, look at what you're doing. Chances are they're going to click with what you have to say or what you're posting. They may like a couple of photos. They may even follow you. And once you have that happen, then you can start reaching out to those people and building a relationship with them. And that's one way that I've really duplicated building my Instagram account to my downline is by using Instagress. And if needed, I can share that video about how to use Instagress later. So this is how I avoid Beachbody vomit. So I am proof the product works when I post photos like this. So I don't always just post a photo of me flexing, like Flex Friday and all of that, because for me that never really got anywhere. But what I do is I like to share my before and after photos. So I try to find ways to share in any way, shape, or form. Like back in the day, I used to drink an obscene amount. So I've done a before and after photo of me where I'm like doing a beer bong, and then one where I look healthy, you know, a side by side before and after. And I explain a little bit of my story that way. And I say, you know, through health and fitness, through finding a 90-day fitness program that I've been able to do from home, I've completely transformed my life, and I've lost 20 pounds, 20 inches, and I'm in the best shape of my life. That's how I'm proof that the product works. And then I always end up giving some kind of call to action after I do my before and after. You know, if you are interested in, you know, getting healthier and you're sick and tired of being sick and tired, message me on Facebook at fb.com/kelly.hanner for more information on what worked for me and see if it works for you. You know, I give some kind of call to action at the end of any kind of post like that to help convert people on over, because essentially you want to get people from your Instagram account onto your Facebook account. And this is how I post about Shakeology. So in the past, when I used to post about Shakeology, I would just post a photo of myself like kissing my Shakeology container, or I might post a photo of my Shakeology in a shaker cup. I mean, and it doesn't even really look good. I mean, there is the hashtag food porn for a reason. People want to see food that makes them salivate. And so that's what I did here. I posted a photo of my Shakeology where I just went all out, making it trying to make it look as pretty as possible. So I took it, put it in the cup, garnished it with some stuff, took it outside in some natural lighting, and shot a photo of it. And then I posted about my recipe. And then I also mentioned, you know, oh crap, I'm sorry. I didn't put in a good call to action here, but a good call to action would have been, if you're interested in replacing one meal a day with something that has helped me to lose 20 pounds and keep that 20 pounds off, message me on fb.com. I don't mention it at all here that this is Shakeology. Instead, I say 1 scoop chocolate protein powder. Sometimes I also might say 1 scoop of my favorite meal replacement shake. If I do that, that encourages people to be like, oh, hey, what is that you're drinking? And then that can help me in converting that person potentially on over to becoming a Shakeology customer. And here, you know, I had 534 likes and over 14 comments. And if you look at this last comment, it's pretty funny. It says, hi, I love your pictures and videos. Have you ever tried Shakeology? It's so delicious and nutritious. Plus, there are a lot of healthy recipes to do with it. So, you know, that's just an example of, you know, being really good at camouflaging what you have, not putting it all out on the table to really, you know, get people to question what it is, get people to be curious. And I did it so well that I had a Beachbody coach, you know, asking me if it was Shakeology. So this is how I post about different opportunities between challenge groups and the coaching opportunity. So with the challenge group, I like to share photos from my own personal clients. And if I don't hit, like back in the day, before I had clients who had awesome results, I would share photos from people of our team. But you know, I'd like to get people on an emotional level first. So back before I would do something like this, I would just post a photo of the 21-Day Fix Challenge package and say, I have a new 21-Day Fix Challenge group starting up. Message me if you want in on this. This is going to be so awesome. And that never used to get me anywhere. So what I do now is I share photos of people who have had results, and then I encourage them to message me, and I also try to get them on an emotional level. So here you'll see it says, are you sick of rummaging through your closet trying to find clothes that actually fit? I've been there, and so have my clients. I'm helping women all over gain confidence with their bodies so they can finally love the skin they're in. In just 3 weeks, you can have a healthy relationship with food, fitness, and your own beautiful body. Not only will I help you lose weight in a healthy way that doesn't restrict you in any of those crazy ass ways we always fall trapped to, but I'm also going to pass on how I myself have learned to finally get rid of the negative self-talk so that you can finally love yourself. Why not you? You know, you've seen my transformations from my clients in the past. If you're reading this, you're reading it for a reason. Now is the time. My next 3-week simplified fitness and nutrition group starts September 1st. If you're interested in joining, message me and friend me at fb.com. So I never once came out and said this is the 21-day fix. I never once mentioned Shakeology or the price of it or what they're getting. I try to hit them on an emotional level, and then I wanted them to inquire on Facebook for more information. Now, with the coaching opportunity, how I post about the coaching opportunity largely has changed from how I used to. I mean, when I used to say stuff like, if you become a Beachbody coach on my team, you could be making a 6-figure income in, 3 years, and you get 25% off from Shakeology, and you get 25% commission, and if you're an active duty military spouse, you can be a coach for free, and that got me nowhere. But I am very keen on Danny Johnson saying facts tell, stories sell. So I like to share stories as often as possible. So here I shared a story of my friend April, who's a girl on my team. And I basically shared how, she was able to quit her 9-to-5 job in a little under 2 years by being a Beachbody coach. And so I shared her story. She had $7 to her name and a plethora of student loan debt when she decided to become a coach. But I explained how coaching has helped her life. And then I put in a call to action at the end saying, I'm currently hiring new coaches who I will mentor. So if you've been looking for a plan B and a way out of your current normal grind, this is your sign. I retired by the age of 25 and retired my ex before he turned 28. So why not you too? I'm looking for professionals who are already employed, independent, have an entrepreneurial mindset, who click with me, are confident, and desire to see others transform with their lives, and who are living in the U.S. or Canada. You do not have to be fit, although you must be willing to change that. I'm interviewing candidates to be members of my team starting on Monday. And then I tell them to contact me on Facebook. So I'm telling them exactly what I'm looking for. And I tell them exactly what's happened for somebody else on my team. Now, if you're at the point where you're like, I don't have a story of somebody on my team, you don't have a team of your own, I encourage you to paint vision. So before I had all of this, like people retiring and all of that, I needed still something to attract people. And so how I attracted people to business was painting a vision for them about what's happening for me or what I knew would happen for me. So something I might say is through this opportunity to be an online health and fitness coach, I know that it's going to provide me the opportunity to travel abundantly, to have expendable cash, to be able to do whatever I want, whenever I want, and to have that kind of freedom. I know it's going to help me to cross items off from my bucket list and live a life by design and not by default. So, I'm painting a vision for people. I'm sharing my vision, and so you don't have to necessarily be at the level of success that you feel is necessary. You just need to be able to be a very good storyteller and to be able to share your vision. So that's pretty much a wrap. I would absolutely love, I don't know, Marissa, if there's any questions or what you might want to do from here.
I was just wondering how, when you have a brand new coach on your team, since you're really, having them build their business through Instagram, what's a way that you kind of help them build their Instagram? Like, do you have them search for hashtags, or do you have them, besides features and besides doing like a share for a share?
Mm-hmm. So
Instagram.
Yeah. So, I encourage them, of course, to start building content on their Instagram, to clean it up. Once they clean it up and they start building content, that's when I really encourage them to start reaching out to people. So I encourage them to search hashtags that are relevant to them. You know, if there's somebody who likes skydiving, I encourage them to look at other skydiver photos, people who are hashtagging their photos with skydiving. And then I tell them to like 5 photos from a person's account. And then on one of their photos, comment and provide some kind of like compliment to the person. So let's say, for instance, it's a skydiving photo. Somebody jumped out of a plane, they shot a photo of it. So what I would say to that person is it's a really awesome shot. How long have you been skydiving for? So you get a little conversation going. You get a little, back and forth going between you and that person. And every time that you respond back to that person, you're asking them a question to ensure that they're going to continue engagement with you. And after you have that back and forth going on for about 3 to 4 conversations or 3 to 4 responses, I tell my coaches then to say to them, hey, it was really awesome to get to talk to you. I feel that we really connected. Are you on Facebook as well? So that's been the big thing that has worked for my team, is doing that. Now, something I do recommend, that can be time consuming. Now, even though it's time consuming, it's well worth it. So if you feel like, that is going to be something that's going to absolutely suck up your time, I definitely encourage delegating that out. And you can find somebody on Elance for like $5 to $10 an hour to do that. And if you have them, starting up a conversation with somebody and getting that kind of thing going on where they're building a relationship and then referring that person or suggesting that person become your friend on Facebook, that's going to take a lot of time out of your day. And if you do that, you can just provide somebody with simple scripts. You could do it yourself a few times, see what works for you, and then pass on the scripts that worked for you to your Elance person. So if going with a skydiving theme here, if you hired somebody from Elance to do it and they are liking people's photos who have the skydiving hashtag, then I would just send them a copy of what you've said to somebody in the past and tell them to do it to a relevant photo as well, and give them just a little simple play-by-play of how to do it. I mean, yeah, if you hire somebody to do that for $5 to $10 an hour and they're reaching out to a lot of people, it could very well turn out to be an incredible thing for you. I know it's worked for a lot of my coaches.
Awesome.
Hopefully that answered your question.
Yes, thank you. One more question. What kind of results has this yielded for you in your business, as far as how many coaching presentations, opportunity presentations are you doing a week, and how many coaches are you signing a month, and what about in your downline as well?
Great question. So last year I signed on over 125 coaches through doing this. Last year I was going absolutely balls to the walls, and I was talking to around 20 people a week about the coaching opportunity. But I've dialed it down now, and now I'm focusing more on helping my team and helping my team to do this themselves. So now I'm kind of talking to maybe at most 5 people each week, but they're more solid leads now. I've kind of just found a way to, capitalize really well on building up a tribe. So now when I do post about the coaching opportunity, I get maybe 10 people who respond, and then 5 people who actually go through with, I'm interviewing them and everything. So I went from talking to a lot of people last year to talking to 5 a week, and I'm still getting awesome results through that, where I'm signing up about 8 to 9 coaches still a month. But my team is doing really well with this. Once my team, while they start doing all of this and they start building up their account on Instagram, they start really applying what I'm teaching them and doing it consistently, they're kind of wearing out their warm market throughout this time. They're still paying attention to their warm market. But then eventually what happens is Instagram becomes their main hub for where they're getting coaches, from where they're getting clients. My girl, April McDonald, most of her coaches come from Instagram. She's duplicated exactly what I've taught her. Most coaches, clients, everything are coming from Instagram. And I can say the same thing for a lot of my coaches who have been consistent with what I've taught them on Instagram.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. Anything else?
Anybody else have questions?
Hello. Hi, Kelly. Thanks for the presentation.
You're very welcome.
So if I'm new to Instagram and I have very little followers and I'm trying to get my 14-year-old daughter to help me learn how to use Instagram, do you say starting off what do you think would be the best of just like searching the hashtags of like getting familiar with Instagram and trying to go in there daily to just search people? And like you said, when you commented, was it on 5 different people on Skydiving, or was it just you picked a couple people and then just sort of focused on them each day?
Yeah. So basically what I did, Jamie, is I started every day to post valuable content first and foremost. So make sure that there's consistency with that. And then every day I would be sure that I'm reaching out to no less than 10 people.
Okay.
10 people, no less, and I'm liking 5 of their photos and commenting on 1 photo.
Okay.
And I reach out to 10 people, no less, because, you know, sometimes your messages can go through the wayside, or your comments on people's photos can go through the wayside. They might not be on Instagram, or they might have a lot of people commenting on their photos. You don't know. So I just try to increase my numbers for how many people I'm reaching out to on Instagram, because I know that it is a numbers thing. The more people you comment on, the more responses you're going to get, and the more potential you're going to have for turning that person into a client or a coach.
Mm-hmm.
Does that answer your question?
Yes.
Okay.
I have a question.
Sure.
So I feel like I have good content. I've used Instagram and I'm only up to like just 500 people. And I don't know. I don't do well with Instagram, so I kind of haven't really done anything like the last few weeks. So given that I have good content, I think I have hashtags that are too popular. So I think I need to go back and like get more like hashtags that are more my interest, and just, you know, things that you were saying, like Indiana University or something like that. So do you think it's a good idea to go back on all of my pictures and like re-hashtag them? Or is that like stupid?
Oh, that's actually a really good question. Maybe like 2 weeks ago, I would have said yes. But Instagram, I mean, it changes just in the same way that Facebook does. And recently, Shalene Johnson said that if you were to do something like that, if you were to go on old photos and re-hashtag them, they're still, I mean, even if, let's say, for instance, I did skydiving hashtag, and let's say skydiving hashtag might not be all that popular, it's still, my photo is still going to pop up in the chronological order in which I originally posted the photo. So it won't post to when I actually hashtagged it, but it'll post to when the date that I posted it.
Okay. Like if I posted something 4 months ago, even though I put a fresh hashtag on it, it's still 4 months deep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Unless, I mean, like if you do have a hashtag that isn't used as much, it's still probably going to end up somewhere higher, but, it's not the same as just continually adding new content every day and being consistent with hashtagging.
So I could probably delete the picture though completely and then repost it with the new hashtag.
Yeah, you can do that.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. Thank you so much, Kelly, for taking time out of your day to get on our call. I really appreciate it. I think everybody learned a lot, I'm sure. And I recorded it so we can share it with the team.
Well, you're very welcome, Marissa. Your team is absolutely lucky to have somebody like you. as their mentor. Seriously. You're my soul sister, and it's really cool to see everything that you have going for you. And I really, honestly, if I could be on somebody's team, I'd want to be on yours, because I know that your team is getting your whole heart and soul. So I hope you guys understand just how lucky you are to have somebody who has systems set in place, who has the heart, who has the drive, and who wants to see you guys be better.
Thank you, Chica.
You're welcome.
I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Good night, everybody.
Thank you so much.